Hey folks, Theo here, and I'm at my house. I am back from Known World Cooks and Bards 2024, and to be frank, it was amazing. I came to talk more about it and to discuss a few key points, what I experienced during the trip, and the things that I wish didn't miss and should expect for the next time that Æthelmearc does this. So, Æthelmearc, the Kingdom of Æthelmearc, the Shire of Sterlynge, Vayle, and the Society of Creative Anachronism made this gigantic event that happened. It was from Friday, August 30th to Monday, September 2nd. Typically, the Monday was just so that you could go home, so that you didn't have to leave in the middle of the night on Sunday. But generally speaking, most people, or a lot of people, came starting on Friday. The event started on Friday with classes and with other things that were going on. And then on Saturday was the main event. Many more classes, different feasts, different events that were happening. And then you had Sunday, which there was even more feasts, more food, more. So what went right? So a lot of cancellations in regards to, there was COVID that was happening at this point. Many people were sick. Many people were canceling. Somebody got stung in the face by a bee, which is crazy. And they were teaching a lot of classes and doing a lot of bardic stuff. But honestly, very huge kudos to the staff. The staff were on top of it. They had signs in every cabin that people were staying in, including the main cabin, that all of the things were going on to tell people what was canceled. People at the event were replacing those classes with other classes so people can enjoy those and appreciate those. So they really did a fantastic job staying with the chaos that was happening. Some of them, it's all kind of a learning experience. I did get to speak to the autocrat for a little bit, and she was on top of everything. Everything was amazing. So really, it was a great job. As far as what I experienced, as far as what other people experience, obviously results may vary. Essentially, for events like this, you kind of choose your own adventure in the SCA community as far as these events are concerned. You look them up, you take a look at the classes that you want to take, you take a look at the cooking stuff that you want to do, if you want to help with cooking. If you don't and you just go just to eat, that's perfectly fine and normal as well. And the cool part about it is that you get to talk to and experience a tremendous amount of people that are laurels in their cooking craft, or they're pelicans in their cooking craft, and they've mainly gained those things from that type of experience. So it's really amazing to talk to those people, to gain that experience and knowledge, understand where their sources come from, to inspire you later on. To be even more transparent, I'm not trying to skip over it, but it was Known World Cooks and Bards. And I feel like the Bards have a pretty good they have a pretty good thing going on. Like, the Bards come to sing, dance, and enjoy themselves, and then they get to enjoy the best food from the best people in at least mostly the East Kingdom. There were 9 different kingdoms that were represented. I think they said 9 or 7 different kingdoms that were represented at the event. There was a little over 200 people. And yeah, it was amazing. So it was at a Girl Scout camp, which is super interesting. It was at the Amahami Outdoor Center. There was no cell phone reception whatsoever. You essentially had to be connected to Wi-Fi at all times in order to do what you wanted to do. And that was okay. It was kind of like part of the course. Typically in the SCA, you don't have your phone out too often, except if you're trying to take photographs or pictures. And that was the main reason why I had my phone out most of the time, to take pictures of what I was doing and what I was being served. So there was generally a good way of recording everything. So at the site itself, it was multiple cabins, clusters of platform tents, And again, just focusing on cuisine, bardic styles, classes, and just a very relaxed atmosphere. I was very lucky as far as where I got to help out and cook and enjoy myself. So the main hangout was in the Fletcher cabin. Essentially, they had a parking lot over here, and right across from it was the Fletcher cabin. And then you got to do things around the Fletcher cabin that were essentially centralized from that point. Now, there's a lot more camp than that, and there were many people that were like scattered amongst. But typically, my experience was mainly in the Fletcher cabin area and in Viking, which is essentially down near there's a lake that's there, and it was absolutely incredible. It was beautiful. So on Friday, I met up with all of my friends. I do have a couple friends who I cook with on a regular basis or on a semi kind of regular basis and talk to, especially in the SCA. Shout out to Kelly, Maxine, Juliana, great people, and they spoke to me and we chatted for a while, and it was great just to see them. As far as what I did on, we're gonna break this down in two different sections here. So I'm going to talk to you about my classes, and then I'm going to talk to you about my food as far as what I ate. So as far as the classes, I got to go to 2 classes in total. One was on Friday and one was on Saturday. The one on Friday was really interesting. It was based off of Mediterranean and Middle Eastern desserts, the practical and the history of that. So William Boge Walker went ahead and delivered that presentation. It was the first time he ever did a class, and he let us know he was a little nervous, but we all got to hang out with him, and it was a very chill, cool experience. We made classic Tyrone, and that is a traditional Italian holiday treat, and it's honey, egg whites, half a pound of nuts, salt, and vanilla, and we used almonds and pistachios in this particular recipe. The big thing as far as why it took so long to make that recipe is because you have to stir continuously for an hour and a half. But it's kind of a labor of love. You finish it up and it tastes absolutely delicious. I ate half of it already. No. So no, sorry. The other half is going to go as a present, probably in November or December, or I'll make more and I'll just eat that before I get there. We'll see. We'll see. And then on Saturday, I did a knife class skills 101. So jokingly, or not so jokingly, a lot of people know that I really have no formal training as far as cooking. I just know what tastes wonderful and how to combine things to make them taste wonderful, and that's at least you can kind of get away with 3/4 of your cooking adventure by doing said thing. So Amelbega de Scriver went ahead and was doing a knife class skill, and there was 2 or 3 other people there. She did an excellent job in regards to teaching those knife skills. We did some practical, which is just cutting peppers, and we watched her cut garlic and cutting tomatoes, peeling those tomatoes, doing everything that you would typically want to do as far as difficult cuts and fun cuts. We cut onions, so it was really neat. I really didn't know about knife sharpening and why that was so important and the general gist of that. So that was really cool that I was able to learn all of that. Just generally speaking, I had no idea. I've been doing the SCA for cooking for over 2 years. I don't have my own knife set. I bring a home knife set from home in a block to go ahead and do some projects sometimes. And I don't have any of those cool knife sets. And she kind of convinced me that I'm going to have to spend, $200-$300 on a real knife set and just take care of it. And she kind of had some tips as far as taking care of it, what she does to go ahead and sharpen them. So really, really cool experience. Definitely totally worth the 2 hours of time. to learn that. And yeah, I would highly recommend it again if she's teaching it again to do that. If you do want additional information, you can Google Known World Cooks and Bards 2024, and the website will come up. The classes will come up, and the information for the local and the contact info. So 100% worth it. Those classes were a lot of fun. Those are the only 2 classes I got to go to. There was another class that I was signed up for on Sunday during the evening, but I was so tired at that point because there was so much that you're kind of doing and moving around with, and what I was doing, that it was just, I was good. I was done. So as far as food that I ate, on Friday there was a what they call a traveler's feast, and it was just a mixture of different foods. I checked the website and I don't think, oh, they do, yeah, it's called the Taste of Æthelmearc. So there was chicken, greens, and salt potatoes. The potatoes themselves, they should not have been as good as they were. I don't know if I was just really hungry or they were just perfect. Probably perfect. But yeah, just potatoes, salt, and butter, and it was just jamming. The Utica greens were escarole, prosciutto, vinegar, peppers, breadcrumbs, salt, onions, hard cheese, and garlic. And it was in this, you could put it in a bowl, and essentially it was all these mixture of things all together. It was really good. It was a little spicy, and that was really interesting. And then there was chicken spedals, which was chicken, oil, lemon juice, vinegar, garlic, Italian herb blend, salt, and pepper. And it was just really good chicken. So that just hit the spot. You kind of have a long day on Friday. You get there at 1 o'clock. You try to figure out what's going on. You get connected with your friends. You talk to people. You make sure everything is 100%. And then finally, 6 o'clock rolls around. You're ready to eat. This was a really good spot for that. Thane, Perot, Gourmal, Campbell did that. Kudos. It was wonderful. So then we go to our Saturday lunch. And I'm just looking on the side. I have my other screen up. And I was looking forward to any lunch. The lunches that were going on were Goots Essen by Juliana Woolworth and Tufa Cognomento Gunthamundus. Really cool stuff. The one that I got to go to was the Romulus Repast, which was a midday feast of ancient flavors. Mistress Atelier Rapoltweiler did that one. And then there was one for Egypt, which was really cool. I missed that one. I didn't get to do it. But Mamluk Banquet, which was by Charles Fleming. And I missed that one. If you want more information, just Google Known World Cooks and Bards, or check the bottom. I'll have a link if you want to check these, the feast menus and stuff like that. And but the one I went to, it was a combination of panis quadratus, so it was bread. Easy, right? But it had flour, yeast, salt, poppy seeds, fennel seeds, and parsley. It was like this tough bread. It was really tasty. It was interesting. I've never had bread like that before. Straight up olives, obviously. It's a Rome type lunch, you know. And then Cassius et Mortara. That was herbed cheese. So it was, you make home cheese, and then you mix it with ricotta. Oh, this one is just ricotta, it looks like. So it's ricotta, mint, fennel, lavage, honey, pepper, and olive oil. That was really good. Definitely good. Isicia aumentata, which is beef meatballs in sauce. The sauce is made with myrtle berries, fish sauce, grape juice, and honey. And then the beef meatballs themselves had breadcrumbs, olive oil, wine vinegar, pine nuts, and pepper. And then they had lentils, which we actually got to take those lentils and cook them over an open fire later on, which is really interesting. But the lentils had lentils, leeks, grape juice, figs, coriander seed, asafoetida, which I've never had before, mint, honey, olive oil, pepper, wine vinegar, and fresh coriander. They had so much extra lentils that they gave them to us on the Saturday night feast that I helped cook. But later on, I'll tell you about that. The bolitos aliter, which was just sautéed mushrooms, really cooked down, like cooked thin, cut thinly, with olive oil, wine vinegar, honey, fresh coriander, and lavage. And then there was even more, just more and more and more. And then the second course was Parthian chicken, deviled eggs with garlic, cucumber salad, and then the dessert was dates with almonds and honey, which I made that before at the service of the lady feast that I created, and then peach patina, which is peaches, eggs, milk, olive oil, pepper, and cumin. The peach patina wound up coming to us over at the feast as well. They did not have that prepared fast enough. Sometimes the timing is just really difficult, especially when you're cooking for 40-50 people, depending on the kitchen size. They had a regular size kitchen, but again, you don't want to waste food, so they were looking for a place to serve that, and we were happy to oblige. So the Saturday dinner, I helped cook for the scapi over the fire. I was there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. just cooking. We took that small break to enjoy the lunch, the Roman lunch, but otherwise we were there the whole time. And so we had antipasta, olives, cheese, prosciutto, crostini. We had roast chicken with several sauces on the side, chickpeas with rosemary and evo, bread and butter, potatoes specifically for the gluten-free individuals, salad with balsamic vinegar, asparagus, roasted lamb with several sauces on the side. Let me explain the roasted lamb. We had two 20-pound lambs that we put on skewers and roasted them over an open fire for 4 hours. This was not I definitely do not want to downplay the roasted lamb. Then we had lentils with saffron and other spices, so we got the lentils from the other group. Cauliflower or broccoli with garlic and orange juice, rice, and then finally with the dessert we had peaches and wine, saffron custard with rose water, and yeah, so it was amazing. Just the fact, and I had spoken to Mistress Ilidor de Bedegrain. I had spoken to her about what the preparation was in order to understand, to get the timing right, and she said that she essentially practiced this all the way from Gulf Wars of 2023 in order to understand the timing and how to cook everything over an open fire properly. So, I mean, it was an amazing job. There was no takeaway other than all the food was amazing and there was no complaints whatsoever. So it was great. We did the cleanup afterwards, and then that was it. That was my whole day on Saturday, and it was a lot. Sunday I did a tutor, the tutors midday meal, and it was made by Dame Katerina Tai Isaf. Now, super interesting. The tutor, I'm trying to look it up right now. The tutor meal was actually based off of a specific book, and yeah, I can't find it right now, but the tutor meal was based off of a specific book that was pretty amazing. Let me see if I can look it up. No, I can't look it up. So, so the tutor meal itself was beyond amazing. So it had a tarte of chess, which was cheddar cheese, milk, egg yolks, sugar, butter, flour, and saffron. It was a cheese tart, and it was large. It was made, everything that came out was made specifically for 4 people. Then you had fart of Portingale, which was lamb, clove, mace, pepper, salt, dates, currants, and beef broth. And then you had fried spinach toasties. I loved these fried. I could have eaten 20 of these fried spinach toasties. It was spinach, salt, butter, currants, cinnamon, ginger, sugar, orange, egg yolk, and white bread. So what they did was they took the white bread, they buttered it, they took egg yolk, orange, sugar, ginger, cinnamon, currants, salt, and spinach. They mixed that together, and then they cooked the spinach, and then they put the spinach on top of the toasties, and it was just, oh man. And then there was gousset, which is bread, vegetarian chicken broth, saffron, salt, egg, thyme, savory, marjoram, parsley. The second course was baked chickens in like paste. So it was just baked chicken in like a special paste with gooseberries and verjuice. There was farva beans with butter, onion, thyme, and salt. There was a salad that was available, an herb salad with lemon egg, various greens, egg, vinegar, salt, olive oil, cucumber, lemon, sugar, and fresh flowers. And then a rose apple tart, which, oh man, it looked beautiful. They took slices of apples and they went ahead and put them on top with the rose petals, and then the mace, flour, and saffron. And then the end was a strawberry tart, a dish of snow, and sweet lozenges. So the strawberry tart was a red, big strawberry tart with strawberries, egg yolk, white bread, sugar, and butter. The dish full of snow was really interesting. It was an apple with rosemary in the middle of it, sticking out, and then cream, egg white, sugar, rose water, and then wafers. So what you do is you would take the wafer and you would dip it into the snow, and then you eat it that way, and it was so good. And then the sweet lozenges, she was not. They were unable to in the kitchen to get the lozenges to stay together. So what they did instead was they gave us sweet caramels, and the caramels were good. You know, there's no downside. You know, it's a very, I wouldn't say experimental, but it's sometimes you're making these dishes not for the first time, but sometimes just for the second or third time. Things are just going to happen. Things go wrong, and then as you go, you deal with it. You know, that's kind of that type of situation. And that's everything I did. After everything was said and done, I went in my car, and I was so full and I was so tired that I said to myself, well, if I don't leave now, I probably won't leave until Monday, and I can't do that. So I said my goodbyes, kind of gave an Irish exit, and then left. And that was it. So I did miss, there was a class that I wanted to take that I missed that had to do with meat sticks in the I'm not sure what century, but it was meat sticks. I missed the meat sticks, and I'm disappointed that I missed the meat sticks, and that's all on me. So if that person has a meat stick class once again, I'm all in. I'm all in for the meat sticks. And there was a really interesting bardic thing that was happening. There was a bardic thing that was happening in the Viking area, and the Viking area was where we were cooking, and it's right on the lake, and I missed it, and that's okay, because I don't think I'm ready to sing yet, but it was really cool because they were planning on playing musical instruments, and it was going to be for an hour. So those are the only major things that I missed. There is a grand feast at the end. I feel like there was so much food that I don't necessarily know if I would have been able to eat the grand feast, because I'm not a 1 meal per day guy, but I ate a lot. And the grand feast was a diverse culinary celebration coordinated by Baroness Ariel of Lothian, and it has shrimp, frittata, mandarin oranges, edible flowers with salad, rabbit in a sweet and sour sauce, millet, quiche, Australian strudel, skewered meat from the Sultan of Mandu's Book of Delights, mushroom with herb sauce, roasted root vegetables, flatbread, and then there's a third intermezzo with crustless pumpkin cheese tort, and a third course with quail, sauce of apples, cameline sauce, and roasted onion salad. And then, at the end, fine cakes, cherries stewed with wine, and more snow. There was no way, absolutely no way, that I would have been able to eat all of that. I would have been sitting there, seeing the things come by, and I would have been eating like this much. Like, thank you. Oh, that tastes delicious. And I would have had to go back to the cabin and go to sleep, because there's no way. This would have been crazy. So... but that's it. I hope that this was an enlightening journey. Thank you if you watch this. I really appreciate you. Like and subscribe. I know it sounds silly. I know it sounds ridiculous. But the more people that subscribe and the more people that like, the more the bigger outreach that I have for videos like this. I'm gonna do one anytime there's a large event that I go to that has cooking, and I'm going to highlight anytime I help in the kitchen and the food that we put out, and have pictures that you can see, so you don't have to just watch me talk the whole time. So but thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. And that's it. Write some poetry, think about your loved ones. That's it. Get inspired. Do what you want to do. Appreciate you.